This could prove more difficult than I expected. I should have made a map. Curses and corporeal existence! I can see why most ancestors move on instead of haunting their descendants. My mortal memories are much harder to recall than I anticipated. I don't remember where to find those components. Not exactly. Of course not. I buried the components we need in separate caches on the tower grounds. I just can't remember exactly where I put them. No matter. With your assistance, I'm sure we can find the right spots. Use my ghost sight. It will reveal the hiding places. Remember, Tel'Rendis is my place of power, despite Shelreni's attempts to make it her own. Here, I can easily use my magic through you, as long as you're willing. I placed sigils at the spots, but on a different layer of reality. Use my ghost sight, and you should be able to see them. The caches are buried beneath those locations. When you get close to a spot I recognize, I'll tell you to activate my sight. That's my illusion tincture. Use my ghost sight here. Should be able to see my sigils through my ghost sight. Look around. This looks familiar. Activate my ghost sight.
Trouble.
Wait, hold on. Headed to old Isra.
I remember this old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Now, place the components one at a time onto the enchanting workbench. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Don't just stand there with... Go ahead and try it on. The cloak... You look amazing. Barely a hint of a data connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Kirat Gadane. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now. Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shelreni. Now that you mention it, yes. Gadane can get you on the access list, but you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine. Telvanni especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion. Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom Agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that? Once we get inside, we can meet up with Kirat Gadane. What could Shelreni be thinking? She's obviously counting on the support of two Daedric princes. But does she really expect them to magically elevate her to the rank of Magister? Because you're not a Telvanni. That particular statute relates to the agreement between House Telvanni and the Keepers of the Dead. If you present it with authority, the Sentry will probably grant you access. And tell them what? If you even imply that any Telvanni would require the help of an outsider, you'd insult them at best or get arrested, if not immediately challenged to a duel of spells. Believe me, any of those would be counterproductive. Do you honestly think my people need a legitimate reason? Well, how about impersonating a Necrom official? Or infiltrating a meeting of the Master's Conclave? Not to mention acting in the service of a Daedric prince. We can't risk it. Telь-Hulen, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry, and put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew? As Master Shelreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough.
You must warn the other masters. I can no longer stand by and do nothing while Master Shelreni continues along this dark path. Her actions threaten the entire peninsula. You probably shouldn't, but that doesn't mean I'm lying. I admired Shelreni for her skill and power. Thought she would help me rise in the ranks. But her ambition and contempt for her fellow Telvanni will doom us all. Master Shelreni made a deal with not one, but two Daedric princes. She plans to use their help to eliminate all who oppose her so she can become Archmagister. the masters won't listen to me. They don't understand the danger. I'm not sure. Master Šelreni stopped confiding in me. But I know how she thinks. She has no respect for the masters or this conclave. When they move to reprimand her, she's going to show them just how powerful she's become. It will be a bloodbath.
The Master's Conclave is in session. All other business is on hold. Necrom, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Gadain's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the assembly antechamber, as the attending magister declared the conclave for masters only.
There's Curate Gadain.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but...
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Gadain this instant.
The Curate and I are busy, outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back. How strange. As no one but masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business. Well, obviously Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
Thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately. We can speak freely here. You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Šelreni is here, and being held under guard until the conclave begins. And now we come to the problem. Magister Gotren arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvanni masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the assembly hall. Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please share them. Otherwise, I fear the masters are on their own in there.
A magister? To counter magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost sight to succeed him. One on either side of a door. I'll lend you my power to disable them.
Morena seemed exhausted.
If she will. The healers recommended she stay in bed, but she insisted we attend the conclave. They call them so rare.
Magister Gotren is good.
Understandable.
But I'm
as
better.
much as our masters despise
Let's enter the
public
assembly hall.
appearances, they hate the thought of others gathering without them more.
Too bad they're not allowed inside. I was hoping to see what punishment...
This is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gotren, surely such restrictions don't apply to a magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. I recognize you from that incident with the ambitious lizard. And now you stand before me, representing one of my most annoying colleagues. Well, get on with it. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt these closed proceedings? And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly? So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment. Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not. Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Psst, over here. I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelreni didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you. Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelreni reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated. Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelreni. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead? Meln may have confused Magister Gotren, but there's no provision for a dead Telvanni participating in a conclave. It's just not done. Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelreni through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelreni's gone, but what's that tipped-over bottle over there? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the conclave. My ascension requires participants, willing or otherwise.
We must get to the conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Something's going on to the north. I think the conclave is starting.
Master Shelreni, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvanni, murdering Meln the Mountains, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvanni doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister.
Shelreni, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there.
You again? If these fools can't stop me, what hope do you have?
Come on, get up! I'm not ready to die a second time!
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelreni killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Melon. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelreni's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next. Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters. Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a Magister of the Telvanni Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her. Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvanni wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her. Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvanni won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going to hold that portal open forever. In all honesty, no. In case you haven't noticed, we of House Telvanni are a superior lot. Sentiment and mercy rarely factor into our actions. Now, step lively. That portal will close as soon as my attention wavers. Ooh, and I feel a yawn coming on.
This ancient ruin. Those markings. This place is dedicated to Vermina.
Oblivion take you! Practice makes the master.
This place. I think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
Stand close and let me shield you.
This chamber appears promising. We should look around. Anything relevant in those papers? Was there anything in those papers about Master Šelreni or where we might find her? She writes about how Torvasad came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting. So they sent the malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here. And she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding a Vermina statue is the key to Torvasad's goal. This must be where that original memory took place, where Vermina and Periite think Hiermeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Šelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin. There's Šelreni and Master Morena. We need to free her.
Away, agents of fate! This vessel will help me restore what was taken from us all! Now! Now, my disciple. Complete the sacrifice so I may inhabit the vessel.
I focused my ghost sight. Try my ghost sight to attack with precision.
Now, friends, free Morena from the binding.
Daedric magic is unstable! Save yourselves!
No! Not when we're so close!
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
Taking the Black Book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Šelreni. Prince Vermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vassal.
I regret the bloodshed, but soon Mora's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrypha and strike at Mora's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necrom bindery and find Leramil.
Hold still, and I'll open a portal back to Necrom.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hiermeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good, you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows. Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Šelreni is dead. And Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave? So that was Šelreni's plan. Use whatever power the Princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that? And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse? What happened next, Proxy? They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasad and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvanni Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. While I ponder next steps, take this. You earned it. Both Scroot and I felt the tides of fate churn and boil. Worse, neither of us has been able to commune with Hiermeus Mora since the Black Book's rite was completed at Vermina's shrine. And you say you saw Shelreni's body walk into Apocrypha, giving Vermina access to Apocrypha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrypha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle. Blightcrown and Torvasad have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shelreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass? Fortunately, we have 2 conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvanni mage dies. Aetherius is the immortal plane. When a person dies, their spirit moves on to that realm unless something prevents that from happening. A violent death, perhaps, or because the spirit still has tasks left undone. Shelreni fits both categories.
Leramil's idea is a good one. Master Shelreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her. No Telvanni master worth their weight in Quama cattle would relinquish their hold on this plane without a fight. I have no doubt we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit. Whether we can get her to cooperate, well, that's an entirely different matter. As the curate can tell you, Necrom forbids summoning the dead. But there's no regulation against the dead choosing to speak to you. We don't have to summon Shelreni's spirit. We can go to her and simply request an audience. Same place you found me. In her tower, of course. We must go to Tel Barrow and search her sanctum. If her spirit lingers, she'll haunt there. Oh, and better take Gadain with us. If she's become a vengeful spirit, his expertise might be required.
Meln, we can't just summon the dead whenever we please. It's forbidden.
Yes. Summoning is an affront to your order. But if the spirit is already there...
If I help you, I could jeopardize my standing.
We would not ask this of you if the situation was not dire.
Of course I'll help, Leramil.
I'll return to Apocrypha. See if I can find Vermina while you chase spirits. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Good luck at Tel Barrow, my friends. Return here with whatever you learn.
Dealing with displaced spirits is very much frowned upon by the Keepers of the Dead. I'll help, because the stakes are great, but it goes against every iota of my training. That's an aspect of our beliefs, but not the primary component. And it's different when you visit the catacombs and a spirit appears before you. I suppose if Shelreni decides to speak to us, that shouldn't violate the Codex too badly. Indeed, the recently departed are often confused, and that confusion can turn violent. I much prefer to deal with the spirits of our ancient ancestors. They may be cantankerous, but they've had enough time to reconcile to their undead existence.
The Let's hit the trail.
Where's the keeper? He should have been here by now.
The tower's locked tight. We need another way inside.
Telvanni towers always have more than a single ingress and egress. Look around.
Leramil's gift protects us both.
Over there. Just let me... There. Easy enough for a Magister to remove a Master's ward. Let's go inside. Shelreni's private study. Her presence is strong here. My ghost sight allows you to see it.
Words of a book is
Move
measured by
closer,
what you carry
and I'll
away
try to get her to manifest fully.
Careful, my friend.
Blight Crown! He killed me. I'll destroy them all!
Such rage and suffering. Let me try to calm her.
Have you come to gloat? To see how far the mighty Shelreni has fallen? I would have led House Telvanni to new heights. Instead, I lost everything. All my work unfinished. My legacy in ruins. This is your fault, outsider. You and those duplicitous Daedric princes! Now, why in the name of my despicable ancestors would I even consider such a notion? You're my enemy! I'm content to sit back and watch as Vermina and Periag steal back whatever they think Hiermeus Mora took from them. You know nothing of the Telvanni, outsider, or of me. But I will admit that I hate it when a greater power reneges on a mutually advantageous agreement. Frankly, my role in all this was more difficult than what I requested of the princes. I decrypted Meln's Black Book, perfected Blight Crown's subterfuge concoction, and performed the rite that gave Vermina access to Apocrypha. And all for a simple favor. Eliminate my competition, and elevate me to the rank of Archmagister. I see what you did there. Clever. I suppose I've been taken off the board. A bit of revenge on my part is probably called for. The path to the memory Vermina seeks lies through the infinite panopticon. Torvasad will lead her there. It started with Torvasad and his dream of something lost long ago. He needed someone to acquire Meln's Black Book and perform the rite. In return, he would help me achieve my dream of becoming Archmagister, as long as I pledged myself to Vermina. Torvasad behaves like a broker, bringing disparate parties together for mutual benefit. In truth, I now believe this is all about Torvasad. He has his own agenda. Anyway, he convinced the princes to set aside their differences and work together. Truth be told, I never much cared. All I wanted was to do what was asked of me and get my reward. Instead, I got a dagger in the back from that disgusting Blight Crown. They believe Hiermeus Mora stole something from them. From all of us, really. It involves Torvasad's dream. He had vague visions of a Vermina shrine, believed it was important, so he asked Vermina to help him recall the entire dream. When she failed, he expanded his list of allies. That's where the hidden kindred came in. Look, maybe Mora stole Torvasad's favorite sweet roll recipe. I wouldn't put it past the Prince of Fate. He collects knowledge like House Lalu hoards gold. All I know is Vermina and Pereide want the memory back, but Torvasad wants it more.
I can't absolve you of your transgressions, Spirit, but I can grant you peace.
Eternal disappointment, more likely.
Let's return to Necrom and tell Leramil what we learned.
Calm yourself, Scroot. I am sure Apocrypha is not as bad as you say. Ah, Proxy. Tell me what happened at Tel Barrow. Scroot returned from Apocrypha with disheartening news, while my efforts at research have been marginally effective at best. Tell me, the infinite panopticon. First they sought a memory to alter. Now they seek what? Another memory? And can they even find the entrance again? Well, we have a destination. Now all we need is a plan. What research I was able to accomplish tells me that Vermina will be a formidable opponent. But in order to enter Apocrypha without Mora's consent, she requires an anchor and a shield. In this case, Master Shelreni's body. That will be her undoing. Shelreni's body is mortal. If we destroy it, I do not believe that even Blightcrown's concoction will hide Vermina from the one who knows. Of course, there is also the matter of Apocrypha gone amok. But one problem at a time, I think. Gedane, this will be dangerous. I would feel better if you remain here, out of harm's way.
I swore to retrieve the relic, and I can't stand the thought of you facing this danger without me. All of you, really.
Vomitus.
As I feared, the entrance to the Infinite Panopticon has moved.
As is its nature. Which means we have failed and reality is doomed.
I refuse this outcome. Fate, bend to my will.
Leramin, be careful.
There is no time. The Panopticon must exist. Here, I command it.
Leramin, you did it! The Panopticon is open.
Has somehow intensified Blight Crown's corruption.
No, you are right. Proxy, you must deal with Vermina. Gadain will help me return to Cypher's Midden.
You can't face Vermina alone. I don't believe I'm saying this, but I'll go with you.
This is more than just a present of a rival Daedric prince.
We need to go down.
Something else is happening here.
No remorse!
You can't face Vermina alone. You can't face Vermina alone. I don't believe I'm saying this, but you can't face Vermina alone.
He's cruel. Defeat is worse.
Understand. What a mess. If we survive, the Great Eye will probably make me. Let me aid you. Hole in the debris. They must have gone that way. Satisfying smack.
Remember, Vermina's not alone. Blightcrown and Torvasad are with her.
For glory!
I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me. Here, mortal. Let Apocrypha smite your foe. I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me. The cultists are spreading Blightcrown's corruption. Mortal, let me aid you.
That's over with, I suppose.
Here, mortal. Let Apocrypha smite your foe. Mortal, let me aid you.
Every man in Mur falls to Vermina.
Let Apocrypha smite your foe. That portal. Vermina passed through it, mortal.
They made their choices. So
Tona! I don't think we should be in here. No one should.
Take the Dream Prince into the Eye of Mora and find your memory. I have a final gift to deliver to the very core of Apocrypha.
Blight Crown! Did he say something about an Eye of Mora?
Ignore Blight Crown. We need to reach Vermina and destroy Shelreni's body.
That's where we need to go, mortal. I am a vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me.
Let's go!
Mortal, let me aid you. Great Eye. Call on me.
Courage brings victory. Attack!
Here, mortal. Let Apocrypha smite your foe. I don't think we should be in here. Through there, mortal. Hurry! Those cultists are in our way. Dispatch them, mortal. We need to talk. Blight Crown's a threat, but Vermina's a prince. We should follow Vermina and Torvasard into the Eye of Mora. I have no clue which memory of Hermеус Мора this particular eye contains, but we should go in and do what we came here to do. Find Vermina and destroy Master Šelreni's body. Without the protection it provides, Mora should be able to pinpoint her. You're right. I don't hear the Great Eye. I think that has something to do with Vermina's presence, Blight Crown's corruption, and the rite they completed to enter the realm. It's just a guess, but if we solve one problem, it should help. That has to be Vermina's fault. Stupid Prince of Dreams.
This memory is mine now, mortal. I have wrapped it in a dream of my own creation.
We need to discuss this, mortal. Listen carefully, mortal. Vermina's power is limited here. This isn't her realm. It's only due to the necromancy they used on Shelreni's body that she made it this far. She's placed a dream around us, but the true memory is still here. Vermina hasn't been in here very long. She didn't have time to craft a perfect dreamscape to hide within. Look for flaws in the illusion, the cracks in the facade. We're inside one of the Great Eye's secret memories. That's just an echo of him, part of the memory. Like I said, Vermina's overlay of dream stuff isn't perfect. We can take advantage of that. Let's see if we can spot any flaws we can exploit. Good idea. If you can find the weak points, I can break them open and expose the true memory beneath. Of course, knowing what the Great Eye values, that will probably drive us insane. Took me centuries to recover the last time that happened.
I have done the unthinkable. Now, I must make sure it cannot be undone.
Use Meln's ghost sight.
The day is ours!
I shall divide the only remaining memory of the event, my memory, and hide it in 3 glyphics.
This must be the memory of when Hermeus Mora hid the secret the enemy seeks.
The way it began, secured inside the glyphic of hidden paths.
Use Meln's ghost sight.
The arguments followed, locked within the glyphic of lost memories.
Use Mel.
And with regret, the memory of what I had to do, sealed inside the glyphic of shattered reflections. Who dares invade my private memories?
We got what we came here for, Torvasad. This way!
How dare Vermina enter my realm? Fighter, protect the 3 glyphics. Go and enter the mythos.
This is the mythos deep beneath the Icor. This is the mythos deep beneath the Icor Sea. Another memory and more of the same.
That's got it!
This is the core of Apocrypha.
Wake up! Clear
Remember
your
how
head!
Torvasad altered a memory and changed the past? The damage they can cause here is enormous. The mythos is a forbidden place. The mythos is a forbidden place. Mora, let me in. Here, Mora, let Apocrypha smite your foe. We need to hurry, mortal.
That's it. Are you hurt?
Torvasad. Fate's mortal. Again. Destroy them, Blackhead.
The Dreamweaver flees. But what of the Glyphic Vault? Vermina will pay for the damage she has wrought on my realm. Approach, Chosen, and hear my words. I shook off the worst effects of Vermina's corrupting presence, but not soon enough. The intruders have fled. But the vault of the Glyphic! You must determine if the secret remains secure. It cannot be avoided. Examine the Glyphic of Hidden Paths. It will reveal its portion of the secret to you. Regrettably, there is no other way to determine if the Glyphic remains intact. But fate will survive a slight fraying of its fabric.
Why have you called us all together, Prince of Fate?
We must deal with this problem, Dreamweaver. I have seen what happens if we do nothing. Already the threads of fate unravel. They have no regard for the chaos they can cause.
Ah, that's it! What I needed to spark my memory. I will restore the rest. Lord of Secrets, I will restore it all!
Torvasad, only one of the unseen could evade my sight here. Chosen, we must speak. My power remains diminished due to the toxins Peryite's followers polluted Apocrypha with. But you helped me break free of the worst of the miasma. You saw the contents of the Glyphic of Hidden Paths. Not yet. One thread in the tapestry snapped, but two more remain. If you can keep my enemies from unsealing the final two glyphics, there is still a chance to preserve Apocrypha and the rest of reality. You saw how this began. The great omission. Just something from very long ago. Something I did not expect to encounter ever again. It is not important. Not yet. Right now, fate requires a champion, mortal. Do as you have done. Follow your heart. Return to Leramil. Consult with her. Defeat those who oppose us. You will know the best course of action when fate requires it. Now, I must conserve my strength. Apocrypha is under attack and I feel its pain. Leave this memory, mortal. Take the portal and return to your allies in Cypher's Midden.
Если вам понравилось видео, не забудьте подписаться и поставить лайк.